I am weak. But I don't accept that. I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that.
You wake up on a morning, it's cold, it's wet, it's dark, you've got no cartilage in your knee, you've got shitty shorts, whatever it is that's the issue today.
Keep talking.
You've got these problems, right?
I need you to keep talking about what you were just saying.
It's warm on the couch.
That's
Your
it.
missus says stay in
That's
bed.
it.
It's comfy.
That's
it's cozy.
That's
You've got
it.
work later on. You had an argument last night. You're slightly
it.
hungover.
Because I know every motherfucker ain't going to do what I'm going to do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It's an old expression, but it makes sense. Because it doesn't mean that you can't be kind if you're strong. But it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak.
Yeah.
If you're weak, you're fucked.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up.
We need to make us stronger again. Very simply said, this society is too weak. And why? Because of all the technology which is available right now, so you don't need to use your body anymore.
You can't be weak. And in this country, being weak is thought of as a virtue. People think that you should be weak and you should be docile and then you should be a pacifist. No, you should be a monster. You should be ruthlessly ambitious and then learn how to control it.
I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow. And I think if you can shift from this is hard to no one else will be able to do this, then it flips from being this thing that you're like, oh, poor me, to oh, poor everyone else who's gonna have to fucking try. And I think that is so much more motivating as a frame for the exact same circumstance.
I was running, and this guy passes me in the car. And it's about 100 degrees out here, 70% humidity. And the guy comes back around, looks at me. He pulls his car by me and says, "Why the fuck are you out here?" I said, "Because you're not." Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to fucking do it.
I always think about in the Stone Ages. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? Yeah, or even a more modern variation, the Spartans. Do you think they had depression? You know, maybe you are laughing, but all of these groups, they are too busy with their body. They are too busy with activity to be depressed.
We need doctors. We need fucking lawyers. We need dentists. We need teachers. We also need fucking savages.
There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns and sucks so much.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
First of all, I didn't have much talent. So I had to train one fucking thing. You better train your fucking mind, because my talent's gonna run out way early. When shit got hard for me back in the day, bro, I'm done, I'm out, see ya. Okay, I gotta invent a motherfucker that can. So I invented Goggins. I invented a motherfucker that realized we're not good enough. But Goggins realizes we're mentally strong as
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men and hard times.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah, I get up and get out of bed.
In every environment, winners are going to win. I often say, I don't give a who the president is. They could put anybody in the White House. I'm going to win. Winners win in every environment. Like, I truly do not. You could put Kamala Harris in there tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to get up and go to work. Winners win every day. But losers will pay attention to who the president is and complain and self-check themselves out of a game that they could have won if they would have just got fucking work.
People have talent. People have a lot of talent. And this is going beyond your talent. So when there's no more talent, what happens to you? Most people quit. People only go to their talent level. And once their talent level is gone, it becomes a mental game. The whole mental game sets in then. And most people can only perform to their talent. And they realize, man, why am I always messing up right here? Why is this like my big hurdle? It's because you're performing to your talent.
Unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult.
Don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down.
Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. Grab a buddy of yours. Say, man, me and you are gonna fucking do this together. And you're gonna be on my ass if I start slacking. I'm gonna be on your ass if I start slacking. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always gonna give it my 110 fucking %. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. That's all that will ever find peace in.
The problem is, you ain't never felt no pain before. You're soft. It's a soft generation. You quit on everything.
If you can teach people to stand up in the face of the things they're afraid of, they get stronger. And you don't know what the upper limits to that are, because you might ask yourself, like, if for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, by your own definitions, right, within the value structure that you've created to the degree that you've done that, what would you be like?
I started working on my dream, and most people don't work on their dreams. Why? For many years I didn't. One is because of fear, the fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? The other thing is that most people, ladies and gentlemen, they get comfortable. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves, and they end up becoming very cynical about life, and they throw in the towel on themselves, on their families, and on their dreams.
To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's like what's very pessimistic in some sense, because it means that as you start to fail, you fail more and more rapidly. But it also means that as you start to succeed, you succeed more and more rapidly. And so you take an incremental step, and, well, now you can lift 55 pounds instead of 52.5 pounds. You think, well, what the hell's that? It's like, it's one step on a very long journey. And so it starts to compound on you. So a small step today puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And then that puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And you do that for 2 or 3 years, man, you're starting to stride.
You're never, ever, ever, ever going to feel like doing the things you need to do in order to have what you want. You're always going to need to push yourself. You're always going to need to parent yourself.
So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school or there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself.
Life is very much like snowboarding. You can't fake it. In life, you're gonna have to go down mountain. You're gonna have to swerve. You're gonna have to go through situations. You can't fake it. You can be a phony, you can buy all the gear, you can buy the goggles, the nice helmet, the expensive shit, but unless you put in the hours to practice, you cannot master the mountain. Just like life, you have to put in the hours, you have to be willing to fall, get hurt, beat up, and get up, over and over and over again until you master the mountain.
If you're worried about something that someone did to you years ago, you're being a pussy to yourself, man. You're not getting out there and squeezing that fucking soul out every day.
Yeah.
If you grind hard, man, I ain't got time to worry about your monkey ass. I ain't got time to worry about you, man. Because tomorrow, I got to go back to the grind. And tomorrow, I go back to the grind again and again and again and again.
As we wrap up this video, I want to dive into what it really means to reject weakness and why it's a mindset that can change your life. To do that, let me bring up a character who embodies this concept in a way that's both powerful and inspiring, Toji Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen. Toji's story is one of grit and determination. Born without any cursed energy, in a world where power is everything, he was written off by many as weak. But instead of accepting that fate, Toji made a decision. He rejected his weakness. He refused to let the circumstances of his birth define him. Instead, he pushed his body and mind to the absolute limits, turning himself into one of the most feared and formidable fighters in the world of Jiu-Jitsu. Toji's story isn't just about physical strength. It's about mental toughness, about having the will to face your own limitations and overcome them. He didn't allow his perceived weakness to hold him back. Instead, he used it as fuel to become something more. He's a reminder that the only person who can truly define your strength is you. In my own life, I've found that rejecting weakness is not just about what you do in the gym, but how you handle every challenge life throws at you. There have been times when I felt overwhelmed, when it would have been easier to give in or back down. But like Toji, I chose to push through, to keep going, and to use those moments to build a stronger version of myself. Rejecting weakness isn't about pretending to be invincible. It's about acknowledging your flaws, your fears, and your challenges, and then deciding that they won't control you. It's about choosing every day to push a little harder, to train a little longer, and to never settle for anything less than your best. So, as you continue on your journey of self-improvement, remember that rejecting weakness is a daily decision. It's the choice to rise above your circumstances, to embrace the struggle, and to transform yourself into the person you know you can be.